Hi dear students, and welcome to this video. And I want to apologize to class 7-2 for what has happened today. We recorded a very interesting lesson, but something went wrong while uploading it on the internet, so I'm so sorry. This lesson today is about quantifiers, or the words how much, how many, much, many, and so on. Of course, how much, how many, much, and many. Some of them refer to countable nouns and some refer to uncountable nouns. Also, a lot of, lots of, loads of, a few, a little. Let's start with how much, how many, or a little. These words go with uncountable nouns. And of course, uncountable nouns are nouns that you cannot count. Like, for example, liquids, water, tea, air, all gases are uncountable. Sand, rice, sugar, all these things are uncountable. And of course, the word money, by the way, because this is a common mistake. Many people think that money is countable, but it is not. Because we cannot count it. We cannot say 3 monies, 4 monies, so it's uncountable. Of course, how much, and the word much plus a little. All these words go with uncountable nouns. We have 2 examples. I haven't got much money. Of course, we use much because the word money is uncountable. This word is uncountable. There is a little milk in the fridge. Drink it. There is a little milk. Milk is uncountable. So you use one of them, much or a little. And of course here the meaning goes like little. There is a little milk in the fridge, drink it. If it's much milk, I cannot say drink it. Then we move to how many, and the word many and a few, they go with plural countable nouns. Let's say countable nouns because of course we cannot use many or a few with singular countable nouns. We cannot say many pen or a few men. Of course, a few men and many pens. Look at the examples. Have you got many friends? Many friends. Friends is a countable plural noun, so we use with it many. Have you got many friends? There are a few books on my desk. Of course, one would ask, why didn't we use a few in the first example here? In this example, have you got a few friends? It's okay. In a question, in such a question, and if you have choices, he would not give you two words that can fit. Of course, he only gives you only one word that can fit. So you will not be confused between many and a few in such a sentence. In the second example, there are a few books on my desk. A few books. Again, books is a countable word. That's why we use a few with it. Now we come to a lot of, lots of, and loads of. They go with uncountable and the plural countable nouns. So they go with both, a lot of. And of course, they have the same meaning as many and much. But what's the difference? If we have a lot of and many, for example, which one will we choose? I'll tell you now. So they go with uncountable and the plural countable nouns, both. I have got a lot of flies. Flies here is countable. So we use a lot of with it. And I can also say I have a lot of money. Money is uncountable, but we can also use a lot of with it. And the next one, lots of people surf the internet. Lots of people. People is countable, and we use lots of. We can also use lots of with uncountable nouns. Lots of there is lots of air in the room. Then we have the word or the question word how much. We use it with uncountable nouns to ask about the quantity of something. What's the quantity? الكمية. Okay, how much something is. How much milk is there? How much milk? So we ask about the quantity of milk. Note, we also use how much to ask about the cost or price of something. How much are these shoes? How much is that piano? How much is that mobile phone? Or you can say, how much do these shoes cost? How much does this piano cost? How much does this mobile cost? And the answer will be, it costs 100. We use how many with plural countable nouns. How many is used with plural countable nouns. Of course, it's, let's say, countable, because as we said before, when you use it, you don't use it with singular countable nouns. We cannot say how many pen is there. So it is used with countable nouns to ask about the amount, or let's say the number, to ask about the number. How many cans of lemonade do we need? So cans is countable. That's why we use how many. We cannot use how much, of course. We use much with uncountable nouns in questions and in negative. We haven't got much money. Notice this, of course, we use much with uncountable nouns. It's okay, you know it. But it is used in questions and in negative. Do you remember when I told you how should you differentiate between a lot of and lots of and many and much? Because a lot of and lots of goes with both countable and uncountable. Many with countable and much with uncountable. So if you have two choices, many and a lot of with a countable plural noun, which one would you choose? You would choose, you would look at the type of sentence. Is it positive, negative, or interrogative? In questions, which is interrogative, in questions and negative, you use much. And the same with many, in questions and negative, and in negative. Okay? It's the same. It's written here. It should be here. In question and negative, you use many and much. Much and many here are used in questions and in negative. Questions and negative. But for the positive sentences, you use a lot of, or lots of, or loads of. Okay? So the example, we haven't got much money. But if we say we have got, you use a lot of or lots of. We have got lots of money or a lot of money. There aren't many books in the bookcase. If you make it positive, you say there are what? A lot of books or lots of books or loads of books in the bookcase. We use a lot of or lots of or loads of with uncountable and the plural countable nouns, usually in affirmative sentence. Affirmative means positive sentences. As I have just said, there is a lot of coffee in my cup. If you negate, look here, there is a lot of coffee and there are lots of or loads of apples. So it goes with uncountable and with countable. But in which type of sentences? In affirmative sentences, okay? If you negate these two sentences, which words will you choose? There is a lot of coffee in my cup. I want you to start it with there is. There is what? Make it negative. I want you to start with there isn't. So there isn't what coffee? Yes, much coffee. There isn't much coffee in my cup. And the second one here, there are lots of or loads of apples. I want you to start it with there aren't many. Yes, very good. Many apples in my fridge. Now we come to little and few. We use a little with uncountable nouns, of course, in affirmative sentences. There is a little cheese on the table. Notice it is used in affirmative sentences, which is positive. We use a few with plural countable nouns in affirmative sentences too. So little or a little are used in uncountable or with uncountable nouns. A few or few are used with countable nouns. Okay? Example, there is a little cheese on the table. Cheese is uncountable, so we use little. There are a few magazines on the table. Magazines is countable. That's why we use a few. And finally, something which is not written but it's interesting. What's the difference between little and a little? Few and a few. Little means very, very little, but a little means little but enough. Okay, so if there is some water in the cup or in the glass, and you can drink them. The glass is not full of water. There is like one third of it. Do we say there is little water or a little water? Yes, a little water because it is little, but it is enough. You can drink it. But if there are a few drops of water, uh, if there are few drops of water at the bottom of the glass, very, very little water. So we say there is little water because it's very little. With few and a few, it's the same. I have like $4 or $5. So I say I have a few dollars because I can buy something with it with them. But if I have only $1 or $2, I say I have few dollars. Okay. If there are two people in the classroom, we say there are few people in the classroom or students in the classroom. But if there are 10 or 9 students in the classroom, we say there are a few students in the classroom. That's it, and thank you.